What's up? What's going on? What's going on? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Beats by Lonze show. That's not what it's called, but anyway, what's going on? What's happening? Shout to my man Beats in Bed. What's up, my G? I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Never fails. You're always in the building. It's always funny to see how people have time to come in and jump into these lives. So that's awesome. So shout out to everybody out there in Facebook land, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. You know how we do Twitch as well. What's up, Twitchers? I'm trying to, get that page going. Y'all y'all don't love me on Twitch like y'all love me on everybody everywhere else. So I'm trying to get my love up. So shout out to everybody out there, man. So yeah, today I am here to brag and talk about a company that don't send me any devices and don't pay me to talk about their products. But I'm gonna talk about it because I am an Apple guy. So y'all should know that excuse me, when Apple comes out with new products and new equipment, you know your man is right there paying attention to see what's happening, what's new in the ecosystem because I am an Apple guy. All the way from 1980, whatever, when we were in school and they brought out the freaking big Mac computer to play freaking games on. Back when we was playing all those what's the name of the joint where you what's the name of the game? I can't remember it. I'm having a brain fart right now, but you riding on a cart with uh with your oxen and your cows and you gotta hunt for food and all that stuff. And then you every time you get so far in the game you die of dysentery and infections and get bit by a snake and all that. I can't think of what the name of it is. Funny story about that. I downloaded that game, Oregon Trail. That's it, my man, Oregon Trail. So let me tell you, Apple has an Apple Arcade, and I saw that Apple had this Oregon Trail game on there. So I said, let me play Oregon Trail and see if it brings back, nostalgia from way back in the day. And bruh, I downloaded that game and I played Oregon Trail for 3 whole days. I'm talking about all day, all night, 3 whole days. And guess what happened at the end of the third day when I didn't sleep well? Guess what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I freaking died in the game, just like I died on the game in 1980 something when I played this shit. When when I said I'd never play the game again because it cheats, bruh. The game Oregon Trail on the iPad is dope. It looks good. You get robbed by people. Um, it's they brought it up to date. You like fall and break your leg, and now you got to pay a doctor to come look at your leg, and then somebody see you in the woods. It's like, hey, we saw you, camping out. We want to join your camp, and then they come in and murder your whole camp. So Oregon Trail is dope on iPad. If y'all haven't checked out the Apple Arcade, they have some great games on there. And but yeah, the purpose of my stream today is to talk about Apple, talk about the iPhone 16. I know y'all saw that the iPhone 16 dropped, and let me tell you, as a producer, as a person in the studio, let me tell you how Apple has really streamlined and changed the game as far as production content in my studio. Now, I started out producing in 2001. I used to have a Dell IBM laptop, and that's all I knew was IBM Dell laptops, and then the actual desktops, right? Windows based, and everything I was getting on Windows based was cracked software, and we producers we would share samples between hard drives and samples, and then you get files from people, and then you get viruses, and you get freaking you get things that would make your computer die. So the moral of the story was that after a time, I was like, okay, this getting viruses and bugs and shit in your computer that's crashing your computer and killing all your programs is for the birds. And then somebody introduced me to freaking MacBook. And boy, did it change my thought process on production and engineering, because the sound coming out of a MacBook, my gosh, I thought that the sound that I had in my standalone desktop was it, bruh. The MacBook had some incredible sonics, especially when you're talking about um, recording an artist and you having vocals coming in, like without having too much outside gear. Recording just into a microphone into a MacBook gave you an incredible sound. And to this day, that has not changed from the time that I started I want to say 2008, 2009 is when I really started to really cross over to out of the PC game into the Apple and Mac division. Now, let me put a caveat on this. I still keep a Windows computer in my studio. Now, right now, I have a Sweetwater. What is the joint called? A Sweetwater Creation Station. I want to say it's a C400 or a CS400 or something like that. But it's a Sweetwater workstation. It is a recording computer. It is built for studios, only built for recording. Right? Perfect recording studio computer. It has all the bells and whistles in it. I want to say it's an i7 or i9. I bought it in like 2012. It was my first official expensive computer that was built from the ground up that had all the bells and whistles that many computers couldn't touch at that time. And let me tell you, 2012, excuse me, 2012 until its present day, that computer is still running in my studio right now without any problems and hiccups. And I want to say about 2 years ago is when I actually updated it to like Windows 10. But before that, I was running Windows 8, which came with the computer, and it worked perfectly. I never had any problems with it, and I kept it off the internet. Um, and I should also preface this conversation to say that I also stopped using cracked software like long time ago, like 2010, 2011. My wife told me like, hey, if you're gonna be serious about this music stuff, you really should invest into it and buy the products that you're using. And that's when I started to buy and invest and do it the right way. So I'm not telling you all out there to go out there and shade the companies that are providing these great products for you. That sometimes you got. Let me just say this: sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Um, and at that point, I was a little frugal and cheap, so I was like, hey, if I can get it free, I'm gonna try to get it free. If I can go somewhere and find the software where I can get it faster than me having to pay for it, then I'm gonna do that. But then eventually, I just started to invest into my craft, and yeah, that cracked software went away. So we're talking about iPhone 16. So right now I am on iPhone 15 Pro Max. I only use Pro Max. I have to have the large screen. I have to have the large phone. So the Pro Max, incredible phone, love it. And before that, I was on the 12 Pro Max, and I kept the 12 Pro Max because I kept saying if Apple doesn't come through and change the format of the phone and make it different, so that in my eyes it's a different phone, or you get something different out of it every year, that I'm not going to update. And so 2 years I held off, and this is the first time ever since owning an iPhone that I've held off from getting a new iPhone. From the beginning, from the 4G, I was there. I had a 4G, and every time a new iPhone came out, I always got a new iPhone to update to the next thing to see what was happening. So same way, up until 2 years ago, I said the same thing. I was not going to update to get the 13. I was not going to update and get the 14 because there's really no real changes to the phone. And then the bug hit me, and I said, you know what? I got to update the phone. I got to have the 15, because at that time they were posing about the actual satellite They're talking about being able to be lost out in the woods, in the wilderness, in the middle of nowhere, without a phone signal, and then you being able to dial into the satellite. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna try out this new iPhone 15. It's supposed to be the fastest iPhone ever, and of course, with a new iPhone coming out, it's gonna be the new and the fastest iPhone that's ever existed because it's gonna be a new chip. It's gonna be a new software, new everything. So, of course. So, what I'm here to talk about and tell you today is how I think the Apple ecosystem works great in my studio, right? So as I told y'all before, when I make beats and I make songs, I automatically send those beats out to the WhatsApp group chat where there's artists in there in the group chat that listen to the beats and they pick the beats and they then we go from there. We're making songs and putting it out, or they say I like where you're going with it. Could you create something to go along with this, that, and the other? But anyway, first thing I do is I add it to the group chat when I make the beats on a particular machine. I take my dongle and I export it out. Second thing I do is I take that same freaking file that's on my iPhone now from the dongle, and because my ecosystem works together with the Wi-Fi, you're able to transfer and save your files from your iPhone to your MacBook, your Mac Studio, or whatever Apple device that you are saving your things on. So that keeps my workflow from having to take an SD card, running from the machine to the computer, plug in the SD card into the computer. I can do it wirelessly and manually straight from my iPhone. And the great thing about that is I am an iPad. I'm an iPad user. This is a iPad 12.9 inch. I've always had a 12.9 inch iPad because I like to have the big screen. I like to write. I like to be able to see everything, and I like to see it in the widescreen. So same thing with the iPad. If you're working on the iPad, you can easily transfer and export and share and airdrop documents from device to device. And so that is incredible for a studio because when I am out of the studio and I'm out and about, if I have my iPhone, I can do whatever I need to do from my iPhone to my computer without being in front of my computer. Same thing with the iPad. If I'm away, as long as I have Wi-Fi, I can transfer any documents. I can read my emails. I can get to anything I need to get to straight from my iPad. So, what I want to talk to you all about today, because I was paying attention to this new Apple event that just happened, and what I want to pull up to you is want to share a little bit of the Apple event that just happened the other day where they introduced the iPhone 16. Now let me pause right there. I didn't talk about the AirPods or the AirPod Max. AirPod Max is a requirement for a producer that is really serious about their sound. And I didn't bring them with me, but I'll tell you, I've had them 3 or 4 years now, and I for a long time did not take those freaking headphones off of my head. I wore those headphones from the time I woke up until the time I went to bed, and they are incredible with the sound. If you really want to know what your sounds sound like, if you want to know what your beats sound like, those AirPod Maxes are beasts. And I'm not talking about the little ones that you put in your ear. I'm talking about the over the head ones. They are beasts. And I am going to order the newest one with the USB-C, and I'll probably give my old one to my daughter. But yeah, back to the iPhone 16. I want y'all to see what they're talking about. So that's pretty dope. Now I will say that also on a new phone, another thing that's pretty cool about it is that this Apple Intelligence. Now, what I am really unhappy about is that I'm hoping I'm hoping that the Apple Intelligence is able to be downloaded in iOS 18 to other phones. That you don't have to buy exclusively the 16 just to have the freaking Apple Intelligence, because Apple Intelligence is going to be really cool, especially for beat makers and content creators, because in this space, when you're creating videos, if you're able to tell Apple Intelligence to go into your phone and find a specific video that's talking about, let's say for instance we're talking about MPC 3.0, right? And you want the Apple Intelligence to find all the videos in your phone that mention Apple 3.0. It can go in your phone and bring in all those videos or those photos that have Apple 3.0 in it, and then make you a video straight up to be able to be used in your content space. So that will be so clutch when you are, unable to come up with ideas, or you just tired of editing. It can actually edit, the videos for you. So that's gonna be fly. But who we're here to really see is this iPhone 16 Pro Max. Now they also said too, and I'll get off the video so I don't get penalized for showing video. But what I'll also say too is that the new 16 Pro Max, when you heard them talking about the actual chip that's in the Pro Max, they said that the Pro Max chip is as fast as a computer. That means that your phone, which is ultimately a computer, can actually replace a computer, and you're able to, as I said, if you're running the freaking Apple ecosystem, such as my studio where I'm appled out, I have everything Apple and Mac running in my studio. You're able to cross pollinate and talk from device to device. And so, what's up, Civil Days Music? Appreciate you being in the building. Good to see you, my brother. He said he wants a new Apple iPad. I'm telling you, bro, I can't see my life without having iPad. Khalif Wins is in the building. What's up, Khalif Wins? Yeah, I'm holding off right now. I am gonna get the new, like I said, I'm gonna get the Pro Max headphones, and I'm gonna hold off on the phone for a little bit, probably about 6 months, and then I'll probably get the freaking the Pro Max. Now, here's the shit that pissed me off. Right, I bought the freaking Ultra. This is an Ultra One. I bought the Ultra One watch when Ultra One dropped. And then as soon as the Ultra One dropped the next year, they dropped Ultra Two. And now they just dropped the freaking Apple Watch 10 that has a bigger screen than the Ultra and the Ultra 2. And now they have the speaker system in the freaking thing. Now that's the only thing that they messed up in with the Apple Watches, that they should have had the speaker system in this. I remember back in the day, I want to say that I was able to play music from the Apple Watch. Now I did at one time have a Samsung watch as well, so I could be mistaking it with the Samsung watch, but I feel like at some point the Apple Watch was able to play with a speaker. But yeah, they got a new speaker on the freaking iWatch version 10. So that's going to be really, really good. So now that, if you forget, yeah, because I remember it was that if you had forgot your phone at home, you could still play your music from your Apple Watch. But it was like a long time ago. I want to say 2014, 2013, 2014 time frame, if memory serves me right. So I want to say I was active duty. Yeah, I was active duty during that time, and I was running in the trails without my phone. So, but yeah, I used to also alternate between the freaking the Apple Watch and the other watch. But anyway, again, so what pretty much what I'm telling you is that I am pretty much an Apple fanboy, and for a studio, I am one of those people that will tell you that if you don't have Apple devices in your studio, you're missing out on it being able to help you be um, just streamlined, help you be organized, to help everything with your production. Because as I said, if I'm in a house and somebody texts me, "Hey, I like the beat that you sent me earlier. Could you email it to me?" I don't have to go leave from wherever I'm at to send that beat to somebody. I can access it from my iPhone. I can access it from my iPad without having to be near my computer. Just being on the Wi-Fi, so I can access all my files on my computer from my phone, which is so dope. I really, really love that concept of being away and being able to work away from my computer. And the same thing, here's another thing I do. Like, let's say, for instance, I find the expansion that I download. I can download the expansion from my iPad, and then I can save it to my iCloud, to my desktop on my iCloud on my computer, from my iPhone or from my iPad. And then that way, when I get to the studio, I can just go directly to that folder, and I can just automatically add it to my MPC program and run the expansion. And that way, I don't have to remember from the time when I saw that expansion in my house to the next time I'm in the studio. I don't have to remember that I got this expansion from A, B, and C. It's already on my computer, and boom, I can work with it. You know, as soon as I turn on my computer. So yeah, I am a component. I probably have right now. I have 3 Apple Watches right now, just on standby, that I have not gotten rid of, that I need to do some things with. I got like 3 iPads. It's ridiculous. 3 iPads, three Apple Watches. Um, you should see all the boxes that I have with Apple products. I have a whole plastic container with all the boxes for every piece of equipment that I bought from Apple that we didn't, that we kept, that we didn't return. All the AirPods. I have 4 AirPods. Um, AirPod Max Pro. Like I said, I have two iPad 12.9s. The first one I got was the original one that was a 12.9 flat bezel one that I got like 2019. No, I'm sorry, 2017. 2017 is when I got that iPad, and then about 2022 is when I updated and got the newest one. So so yeah, that's about it for my live. I'm just damn doing good. So I told y'all I'm going to be doing something new with my lives. So I am definitely on point and on time, on my time deficit as far as being on lives. So again, if you haven't done so already, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And if there's something on my channel that you'd like to see, please let me know that I'm missing it on my channel, that you'd like to see it, and I will definitely get to it. And yeah, we'll go from there. And just let me know if you'd like to reach out to me to sponsor a live or a podcast. You can email me at beatsbylonze@gmail.com. I have a lot of albums and products out on Bandcamp, so if you'd like to check out my newest project, which is called On the Radar, and that's the Zay and Wugger Files Part 3, you can find that at beatsbylonze.bandcamp.com. And so if you wait about the next 30 minutes because I'm going to do something special on my Bandcamp. So if you wait the next 30 minutes, I am going to do some changes to my Bandcamp um, page. So if you wait a few minutes, you'll get a huge surprise if you go check out my Bandcamp. So check that out. Check out my projects and see what I've been working on in the last couple 6 months. And that whole album was produced by my man Beats by Wugga. He's a producer out of Ireland. He's part of our three team deal, three team um, three producer team trio of El Jefe, and he is an incredible artist and a beast out there producing on FL Studio. So for all the NPC guys out there that's talking about that they have the best sound, uh, that's another conversation for another stream. I am an NPC guy, but I'm telling you, I am not afraid to admit that the sounds that is coming from FL Studio, as far as drums and kicks and how hard FL Studio hits, yeah, it's hitting hard. So yeah, you can follow me on all social media at Beats by Lonze, and that's pretty much all I think I got for this stream today. So thank you all for joining. I really appreciate you. Every time you come and watch me on the stream, it means a lot. Every time you hit the like button, it tells YouTube's algorithm that people are watching and that this is a place to be. So Tony Athens, what's up, my guy? I appreciate you. Thank you for being here in the building. And yeah, yeah, catch, yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Put those notification bells on so you get notified whenever I go live and whenever I have new videos posted every Thursday. There's a new Beats by Lonze drum machine specialist video coming on YouTube every Thursday, and every Monday I talk to my veterans and I talk to um, our active duty guys out there that are producers as well. So salute to all my active duty guys, all my veterans out there. Simplify to all my Marines, and thank you for all your service that have served in the military, that are serving. And again, that's what I want to give back to my community. On Mondays is talk to the veterans, and on Thursdays you'll be hit with a new video long form from my channel every Thursday, and throughout the week you'll get hit with other videos that I'm working on. So shout out to the team. Khalif Wins NYC. That's his handle on YouTube and Facebook. And I think there's something else. Shout out to my man Civil Days Music, Dayson Civil, and shout out to my man DC Carson. He's been under the weather. He is part of our 4-man collective, and I ain't gonna put the recruiting banner out there if we're recruiting for other people yet. But y'all talk to Khalif Wins NYC and see if he's recruiting for other people to join our collective. But I will tell you that if you're joining our collective, we're all about getting to work. We're all about making things happen. So definitely, if you want to talk about that, talk to Khalif Wins. And so yeah, Apple products. I am an Apple guy. Make sure that you do some research on what the Apple products bring to the table as far as your studio. And I love it. I like the fact that all my devices can talk. And if I was just telling Khalif earlier that I'm getting rid of some equipment in my studio because the point of it is that I like for devices to be able to work when I plug and play them, right? I don't want to go through a whole bunch of menu diving. I don't want to have to go through downloading 50 different um, products to make something work. I need it to either be able to work when I plug it in, or I just need to be able to put in one or two different things um, to make it work. And so I had some historical equipment in my studio that I thought that I'd use, but they didn't. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out for me to work out in my studio. So Blatantly Blatant Network, what's up, my guy? He says he had the Pro Max 15 and do love the Apple ecosystem. Yes, I have the Apple Pro Max 15 as well. And Civil Days Music, I am not getting rid of my SP404. Now, the things that I got rid of was the freaking Akai APC 40 and the APC 64. Those are the two that I'm getting rid of. So they don't work well. They don't work well with my studio flow, and they're just collecting dust. So I'd like to bless somebody else with it that could use it and that will use it, and it'll work well for them. Yeah. So my thoughts on the 16. It looks good. The 6.9 screen is going to be clutch, especially for like people with eyesight impairment. You have a bigger screen, so you're going to have more ecosystem to be able to tap and touch um and not for nothing, I downloaded the iOS 18 beta, and it is fly. I love the way they did the design of the photo layout and your albums. Oh my gosh! Because now it has this new creation where if you like went into a video recently or a picture recently, it has a recent. um I know recent was already on there, but it's called something else. um and so, like, for instance, when I'm trying to find videos in my phone to put on YouTube, right? Sometimes I may have went and visited that video, but I don't know where in my whole 18,000 pictures it was in my phone, and I didn't put it in an album. There is a photo album in here that says you can look at recent days, or you can look at I want to say recent videos or collections. But anyway, it has the albums collections where you can actually get to your products much faster. And so I'm able to actually, instead of going through my phone 50 times to find a video that I already looked at, I can go to the video that I recently populated open, and I can go right there to the top. Yes, and the new headphones have hearing impairment help, so that's gonna be clutch. Because my wife is hard of hearing sometimes. Like when we like go to the airport, there's like people talking, a lot of people talking, and like the associate is talking to her. She's looking at me like, what did she say? So I think that's gonna be great for my wife to have, because she has uh she it's hard for her to hear sometimes when people be talking. The beta for the MacBook. No, I just looked this morning that the beta was not for the MacBook yet. Civil Days Music. The the one that was there that I just downloaded this morning was. Let's see if I can pull it up. Dun, 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 dun. About this Mac. Yes, Sonoma 14.6 was what I just downloaded this morning. So yeah, the beta was. I did not see the beta for the Mac. So yeah, Blatantly Blatant Network said Ableton seems smoother on Mac too. Maybe it's just me. Nah, bro. It is the actual Mac computer, and I talked about that earlier in the stream, and I was telling people that the Mac ecosystem. I was not an earlier adopter of having running my production on Mac. I always ran everything on PC, from FL Studio to Cakewalk. I run everything on PC from 2001 until about 2010. 2009, 2010 is when I first got a MacBook and learned that GarageBand was incredible. Like the sonics of GarageBand was so good for vocals, like way better than anything that I tried to record on a PC. And so now I always keep a PC in my studio, because you always need a PC, because everything don't always work perfectly on Mac. But I will, if I had to record myself personally, and I'm just talking about me as an individual solo, I'm recording on the Mac or I'm recording on my iPhone. Not for nothing, we ain't even talked about how incredible the sound is on an iPhone to record strictly to your iPhone. So my last album, which is called The Zayn Wugger Files Part 3, which is on the radar, I recorded on my iPhone into BandLab. What in the world is that? Oh, that's my phone. Shit. I'm like, where is that sound coming from? But yeah, I recorded my last album into my iPhone onto BandLab, and incredible. And BandLab is Cakewalk pretty much. They bought out Cakewalk and they brought the ecosystem over to BandLab. So yeah, so if we're talking about Ableton, yeah, if you run an Ableton on the PC, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine the trouble that you go through running Ableton on the PC. On a Mac, oh my gosh. That's why when people say, "Oh, the Ableton sound ain't it?" Shit, I don't know what y'all listening to. Ableton and my Mac Studio is the sonics on that thing is incredible. And I'll also say, let just for conversation's sake, in the comments, blatantly blatant network said he has it on both and was like, hey, wait a minute, shoot, even FL Studio runs smoother. Now I don't like FL Studio on the Mac. FL Studio has been iffy. It's like it floats. It floats on FL Studio floats on the Mac. It doesn't float on PC. Now I'll stick to FL Studio on the PC. That is never going to change. Um, I'll stick to Cakewalk on a PC because they don't have Cakewalk for the Mac. You can only do BandLab, which is web based and app based on the Mac. You can do that. So yeah, and let's great point, blatantly blatant network. Beat making on the freaking iPad is next level. Beatmaker 3, Beatmaker 2, iMachine, iMPC. I think it's iMPC or MPC 2, I think it's called. Let's see. MPC. Let's go to because I'm looking on my phone. I'm like, why I can't find it on my phone? Freaking stupid. Oh man, I'm dumb. But yeah, freaking MPC Pro 2. That's what it's called. MPC Pro 2. It's also on the iPad. Um, I used to have a music apps folder on my iPad where I had all of my apps that I use for making music all in one spot. Yeah, that they have an SP1200 called SP1200 app called SP. That's also pretty dope. Actually, FL Studio has the mobile app that's on iPad. So, bruh, like even using like products such as Canva or Logic Pro is another one that's a good one. Cubasis 3. Those apps work so great on an iPad. So if you don't have an iPad, I think that every producer, and it's just me talking, every producer that has an iPhone should have an iPad. I think that's just number one. You don't have to have the 12 Pro. You can have the iPad Mini or freaking the 11. I think it is the one that has 11 screen, the 11 size screen. That ain't too bad. But for me, I gotta have the large screen, so it just works perfectly, and I can do everything. It's pretty much a mini computer. The iPad is pretty much a mini computer. I have Bluetooth keyboards that hook up to it, and I'm able to type out emails or I make all my notes in the iPad or Word documents and PDFs. I design all of um, my producer toolkits. I design all of them in iPad. So yeah, enough about Apple. Apple, if you're out there listening and you check out this video, Beats by Lonze. That's the name. I'm a drum machine specialist. I'm just not a drum machine producer. I am a technology nerd. I enjoy technology. I am a computer guy. I love computers. I love the MacBooks. I love the iPads. I love the Apple Watches, the iPhone. So anybody that's telling me that a freaking Samsung phone is better than the iPhone, those people are nuts. Absolutely nuts. Especially of the ecosystem. You don't even have the ecosystem that Apple has, that where everything can walk and talk and work together. So until somebody can come up with, I mean, even we just talked about all the apps that's on the iPad. Until like they can come out with something that mirrors something as good as the iPad, y'all are lost in the war. Y'all lost the game already. But anyway, thank y'all for coming to the show. Again, Beats by Lonze is the name. And I'm gonna play. I'm tired of playing this single that I just dropped from the album. So I'm just gonna end this live with a beat that I made the other day that I didn't realize that I made, that populated on my iTunes, as we're talking about Apple products. It played in my iTunes, and I was like, damn, when did I make that? So I'm gonna preview it on this live. So y'all have a great day, have a good week, and you know how I always have a catchphrase: get to work. If you're an MPC guru, I need you to get to work. If you're a drum machine specialist, I need you to get to work. Check out my merch. It's out there under the Guru merch under spring.com. So check that out, and I'll catch y'all next time. So check out this beat I got that I forgot that I made.